Packing doesn't have to be stressful, and it definitely doesn't have to mean overpacking. Most people pack in one of two ways. They either bring way too much just in case clothing, or they pack so light that they forget the things they actually need. But there's a better and smarter way to pack, and it's called intentional packing. Intentional packing isn't about bringing less. It's about bringing the right things for your specific trip. Today, I'm going to walk you through my process of intentional packing so you can stop stressing, stop overpacking, and stay organized and still be ready for anything. So stay tuned. Intentional packing is a process. It's not a random packing list. Intentional packing means every item in your bag has a purpose. It's not throwing things in at the last minute or copying someone else's packing list. Your packing is based on your bag, your trip, your activities, and your personal comfort. And by that, I mean you feel secure in everything that you have brought and you need. And it all starts with these 5 simple steps. Step 1, choosing your bags. Your bag sets your real limits. This is determined by your airline, the ticket you bought, and your personal limitations. Now let's talk a little bit about bag size. Both these bags are advertised as being 22 by 14 by 9. And I'm going to show you something. They are not. See the difference here? Now imagine finding that out when you get to the airport. That this bag isn't going to make compliance and this one is. And you've paid for a carry-on, but this one isn't making compliance. So they're going to gate check it. This is not something you want to happen, and it stresses you out. So always measure your bags before you even start to pack them out. And let's talk a little bit about even the style of bag. This is a clamshell bag. This is a traditional bucket style bag. This one might be tight on a cruise ship, but when you're practicing intentional packing, you know what your equipment is that you're working with, and you make sure you pick the right piece for you. Your pack will change depending on the luggage you're taking. Are you taking a carry-on and a personal item, just a backpack, or a tote, or 2 personal item bags for easier lifting? Always choose the bag first and then pack for it. Your bag decides how much clothing you can bring with you, how bulky your clothing can be, whether you can bring extra pair of shoes or pack minimally. And these are the things that you have to consider. You should always keep in mind taking the largest bag allowed, especially if you're traveling with just a personal item only. So if I'm going for a 2 to 3 day trip, I'm taking a bag that looks like this. What I'm not taking is a bag that looks like this. This is huge and it's not necessary. I don't need this much clothing. And that's what I mean about intentional travel. But if I am going away for only 2 to 3 days, I'm not going to take a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 pack out. I'm going to take a 3 by 3 pack out that may look something like this. So this is a 3 by 3 packing method. And this has 3 shirts, 3 layering pieces, of which one of them is a cardigan, and 3 pairs of pants. Now, this will give me more than enough outfits for 3 days. But if I am really concerned about my outfits repeating, I know I can do this. But I am being intentional about this, and I'm picking out everything that mixes and matches with everything else. And I'm also considering what else I might have to put into that pack, like my computer, and my safe bag, and my airline comfort bag. All those things have to be thought out before you can get them into this bag. And even if I was a shoe lover, since I'm working with such a small bag, I would only take 1 additional pair of shoes. And maybe remove one of the other items. Like maybe, do I need 2 pairs of black pants? No, so I might want to ditch the black pants in lieu of a pair of shoes. And in that way, I'm being very intentional for me, because maybe I don't need all these pants. Maybe I only need 2 pairs of pants because I am wearing a pair of pants on the plane. And that does not count as part of the 3 by 3 method. By the way, Ellie doesn't count for the 3 by 3 method either. Ellie, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're purring. And because I was being intentional with my pack, I got everything I needed for my trip in this bag. I'm just going to show you quickly. Here are my airline comfort slippers and my tushy bag. Here is my liquids bag. 5 days worth of underwear, 5 days worth of socks and a bra, 3 pairs of pants in here, my shoes in here, my airline comfort bag and crossbody bag, a pair of pajamas, the 3 sweaters I chose, which are my layering pieces, and my 3 tops. And I still have room in this bag. So when you're thinking about intentional packing, also think about the size of your bag, because if you're taking more than this for even a 5-day trip, you might be overpacking. So that's what I mean about intentional packing. I'm still doing me in a bag this small, and I still have room for a comfortable outfit. And when making a decision on shoes, always consider good packing shoes that are good to walk in. So I'm going to take a quick break here because I want to talk to you about one of my favorite travel shoes. And I'm thrilled to be partnering with Vivaya again because they've just launched their new animal protection collection, and it's beyond adorable. Vivaya has always been committed to sustainability. All of their shoes are made out of eco-conscious, recycled, and sustainable materials, which I love because I love animals. And I'm always trying to travel smarter and lighter, and also be good to the planet too. It's because of their commitment to sustainability that they've created this new Audrey loafer to call attention to endangered animals, and they're just too cute. But let's talk about the details, because these are not just cute shoes. The graphics are actually embroidered on, not stamped on, so they're super high quality and they don't fade or peel over time. And the animal designs are just the sweetest touch while still being totally wearable and versatile. Now, comfort-wise, these are made for travel days. They have a wide toe box, heel padding, and built-in arch support, so I can walk all day sightseeing on cobblestone streets without my feet screaming at me. And the best part, there's literally no break-in period. You can take them straight out of the box and wear them all day. They're also machine washable, which, if you travel a lot, you already know how clutch that can be. And they're also bendable and packable, so I can fold them and stick them into any corner of my backpack or carry-on. And that's why Vivaya shoes always make it into my pack. Oh, and some of those styles have matching bags, which I could not resist. I actually ended up buying the matching bag to the pair of shoes I already bought because it was just that cute. And right here, I'll show you how I style them. You can see how easily they go with a travel outfit,
an evening out,
and even everyday wear. If you want to check out the new animal protection collection, use the link found in the description area down below and in the first pinned comment. And with my code, Perrie10, you'll receive, for the first 3 days after this video goes live, 12% off. And after that, you'll get 10% off. And I'm sure if you try out these shoes, you'll become a loyal Vivaya customer just like me. Now let's get back to packing your bags. Now that you have your bag pick, let's pack for it. So let's say I'm using a personal item bag, and I know I have to be intentional with my capsule wardrobe. So I'm going to pick a packing method like a 3x3 method or a 4-3-2-1 method versus if I'm taking a carry-on and a tote. I have more flexibility and my maximum minimalist side can come out, and I can put a little bit more, and I can use a bigger packing method like a 5-4-3-2-1 method or the 3-day method to guide me through my packing. On the other hand, picking 2 personal items as a way of traveling means not only lighter weight per bag and easier lifting, but also better organization. So always choose the bag first, then pack for it, and not the other way around. Step 2 is the length of your trip. This should be your packing blueprint. The length of your trip guides everything. Don't think of it as a one outfit per day. Think of it as how often you can rewear, rotate, and possibly wash your clothing. So if you have a short trip of 2 to 4 days, you're not taking a big bag, you're bringing less clothing and less shoes. If you're going on a trip for 5 to 10 days, that means you have to mix and match your outfits using a capsule wardrobe. And your capsule wardrobe size will depend on your allotted luggage size. You might also want to consider a possible laundry plan. So my trip in a personal item only will look more like this than my 5-day trip with a carry-on and a personal item. And that will look more like this. And going away for longer will look like this. And notice the laundry kit. For trips lasting over 2 weeks, you might want to pack a bit more if you're taking a carry-on and a personal item. But you still don't want to go overboard. The longer the trip, the more important versatility of your clothing needs to be. So you are still thinking in terms of capsule wardrobe, trying to avoid items that will only work once, unless you're attending a special event and you need a dressy outfit like on a cruise. And you might have to think about sink washing or laundry days. It's really not such a big deal since many hotels have laundry services of one kind or another, and sink laundry is easy to do. Step 3, the type of trip you're going on. Ask yourself, what kind of trip is this? Is it a beach vacation or are you going to be exploring a city? Is it a work trip or a family or is it both? Because each of these factors changes what you need. For instance, a beach trip requires lighter clothing, swimsuits, and usually fewer shoes. And a city walking trip requires walking shoes, anti-theft bags, and finally, work trips require structured outfits, wrinkle-resistant fabrics, and probably more tech accessories. The most important thing to remember is to pack trip-specific clothing. Also remember to check the temperature before traveling and check it again 2 to 3 days before departure. Nothing is worse than arriving at your destination with a suitcase full of clothing that you can't wear. And I would suggest doing a test pack. See if everything you need fits into your luggage that you're taking. Step 4. What are the activities you're going to be doing on this trip? This goes along with step 3, but it's a little more specific. This is where most people mess up. Think about each day that you'll be away and what you need for that day and pull those items from the closet. Think through your trip from start to finish. So you're going to be thinking about your travel days, your walking days, your special dinners, excursions, your gym, spa days, and always pack for the weather. I always ask myself, is there anything on this trip that needs nicer clothing, warmer layers, special shoes, swimwear, a day bag? And then I build around those special days first and see how much space I have left to build out the rest of my travel wardrobe. And I make sure everything else must mix and match no matter what else I'm packing. And if I'm working with a really small bag, items that only work once don't make the cut. So now we're going to talk a little bit about a Caribbean holiday on a cruise. And I know a lot of you would find it daunting to put together an outfit. Now for me, I would use a 3-day method. I would go through each and every day of the itinerary for that cruise and then pack out around that so that I don't feel stressed out. And you'll be amazed at how little you actually need. So I've gone and put together a sample of a Caribbean cruise pack out. So for this Caribbean cruise, I am taking these 5 tops, which are going to mix and match with these 4 bottoms, which is a white pair of capris, a blue pair of capris, a skirt, and a pair of shorts. 3 layering pieces, and one of them is a button-down shirt. I have a cardigan here, and I have a dressy top to wear on top of the dresses that I'm going to take with me. 2 dresses for the formal evenings, and a roomah that mixes and matches with everything else I have. Now, obviously, there's a couple of extras that I have to get in here, and that is a bathing suit and a cover-up, and this bathing suit dries within hours, and 2 pairs of shoes, and this does not include the pair of shoes that I'm wearing on the plane. And because I'm being intentional, I picked a pair of shoes that are waterproof so I can easily transition from wearing these to the pool to wearing these with a nice dress. But now let's talk about bags. And what if I find out I can only take an 18 by 14 by 8 bag? Do I have to make any modifications to get it into that bag? Now this is my 18 by 14 by 8 bag that I'm going to be using. And because I was being intentional about my pack out, I could get everything into my Baze bag. And this is the mini weekender. This is not the full-size Baze bag. And I know you're going to want to see proof of life, so I'm going to show it to you. Some of the clothing that I showed you in a compression cube. So I have my 2 dresses, my socks, my underwear, my pajamas, my bathing suit, my cover-up. I also have my airline comfort bag inside the bag I'm going to use on the cruise. And by the way, this is a convertible crossbody bag. And of course, my toiletries. And all the other clothing resides in the bottom of this bag, where the shoe compartment acts as a compression cube. And in that way, I could get 7 days worth of cruise clothing in a bag that's 18 by 14 by 8. But this goes to show, if you start thinking, that Ellie interferes a lot. Come on. And if you plan for your trip, you can actually get a ton of stuff, even into a small bag. Now, I'm not implying that you have to go this tight on a trip if you want to pack more and you're allotted more. But it's good to know that you can do it if you just think ahead and you're thinking about your bag size and you're thinking about what you're going to need for your cruise. Are you going to come with me on the cruise, Ellie? Is that the point? She's so cute. Step 5, leave room for you to do you. Intentional packing shouldn't feel like suffering without the things that you want. Everyone's must-haves are different. So take that into account within the limitations of your bag. So if you're a person who prioritizes shoes over outfits, take more shoes. Maybe you like to look all decked out all the time. Then do that. Or maybe you're the opposite and you like to be comfortable all the time. Then pack that way. You should do you. There is no perfect packing list. The goal is traveling well without stressing or suffering to be a minimalist. There is a balance to all these factors, and being intentional means that you've struck that balance. So before every trip, ask yourself, what bags am I using? How long am I gone? What is the temperature in my destination? What activities do I have planned? What makes me comfortable? And when you answer all those questions, your packing list builds itself. Once you start packing intentionally, you'll stop overpacking, you'll stop forgetting things, and your traveling will get easier. And this is exactly how I pack for every kind of trip, whether I'm traveling with only a personal item or a carry-on and a personal item. Now, I know I've given you a lot of information, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section down below. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. I've also put together a printout that you'll find in the description area down below and in the first pinned comment to help guide you through your intentional packing. And if you'd like to learn more about the various packing methods I mentioned in this video, you can find them here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!